If you have questions about Muslims,
Ask a Muslim.
Ask a Muslim.
Ask a Muslim.
ask a Muslim. Is that good enough? No? Okay.
My name is Gary Faulkner from Cincinnati, Ohio, 28 years old, here in this fine city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. My question is, how has the effects of 9/11 really changed the Muslim culture in America?
Whoa.
Did anybody see his beard?
Oh, that's a good one.
9/11 has had a profound impact on Muslims in the United States. There's no question about it.
I don't know that it's actually changed Islamic culture.
I think in general, Muslims are a lot more fearful, and those that did think that they were, I guess, like fully integrated into like American culture realized that they weren't.
A lot of immigrant Muslims were attacked. In fact, anyone who even resembled a Muslim, were attacked and came under a lot of scrutiny.
People who have bigoted impulses have gotten more animated, more organized.
And we've been dealing with that up till today. We see the black backlash all over the country, and we know what the Muslim organizations, Islamic centers, mosques have went through.
It was a reality check for a lot of people.
Yep, basically they done labeled all Muslims terrorists. That's what happened to us about 9/11.
Myself, as a Black American Muslim, what it meant was that I was presumed guilty just by my appearance, that I could be wrongfully arrested without due process, but we've basically been dealing with that since forever.
And people had to almost go about the business of explaining that's not me. And we're not a part of that, and that Islam means peace. And almost in a defensive manner, you had to defend why are you Muslim after something as tragic.
Because the allegation is all these bad allegations about Islam, and there's a lot of people who I know, who I work with every day, and that's not what they see. They don't see a terrorist when they work with me and my wife and my children and lots of people who work here in our company.
Certainly, it's made us realize that we have to be a little bit more aggressive about teaching people that American Muslims are like other Americans.
Coming from the perspective of an African American and being lynched and going through so many things, being surveilled and, a couple of dirty looks, it's okay, we're in America. The more we get out there, the more people learn.
It encouraged a lot of people to want to learn about Islam. And I think what we have seen, I think the numbers bear this out, is that there's more interest in Islam now than there has ever been in the history of the United States.
The net effect is, the temperature has turned up in terms of intolerance, but the Muslim community has come out of the mosque much more so. People running for office, people voting, people participating in volunteer activities and in community empowerment. The very powerful interfaith dialogue.
We need to show people that there's not a dichotomy between being American and Muslim.
Nobody knows what will happen from here, but I think that the trend of engagement is encouraging.
I'm wondering if it's difficult to practice your religion in the United States.
Actually, no. It's difficult not to.
Now, it's very easy to practice our religion in the U.S., especially when compared to other countries.
I learned Islam from Warith Muhammad, right? In America, you could be a Shia Muslim, like there are many. You could be a Sunni Muslim. You could be an Ibadi. You could be an Ismaili. You could be any kind of Muslim you want to be.
I have a friend who's from Turkey, and which is a country that's full of Muslims, hundreds of Muslims in Turkey, hundreds of millions of Muslims in Turkey. And there's things that she can't do. She's a lawyer, and she can't wear the Muslim dress in a courtroom in the country of Turkey. But she can be a lawyer, and she can wear the Muslim dress in a courtyard, in a courtroom in the United States.
The main things that are required for a Muslim to be a Muslim, I haven't found difficult here. So I can pray, no one's preventing me from the prayer, and I can always find a place to pray in general. I can fast when it's time to fast. I've made my pilgrimage to Mecca, and there was no nothing blocking me from making that pilgrimage to Mecca. And I believe what I want to believe, and I go to the place of worship on Fridays.
So there is freedom to be a Muslim. Up until just recently, my company was owned by the nuns, by the Catholics. And the Catholics give me the responsibility over a $4 billion company and 2,600 employees. So that's and I can't say that you can have that. I can't imagine a Christian being over a company like this in certain Muslim countries in the world.
In Islam, I believe it is a faith where there's got to be a recognition of individuality, freedom of faith. But for some countries who have authority, they don't recognize that freedom.
I have lived other places, but that was only after having been an American Muslim. So the idea of being difficult to be Muslim, not for me.
I wouldn't say it's difficult, but I would say that you have to be diligent.
I think the most difficult thing for Muslims living in the West is finding a way to make our salats on times.
If you're in an Islamic country, you're going to hear the adhan. Adhan is the call to prayer. You'll hear that call to prayer 5 times a day. So there's somebody reminding you, and not only that, but there are other people who'll be going to that prayer with you. But in America, Muslims are dispersed. You may be on your job. You may be the only Muslim on your job. Nobody's going to call the adhan. You have to be diligent yourself to know that, okay, it's time for the prayer. I need to stop what I'm doing and go make the prayer.
It's up to you. It's nobody's going to come and tell you, you got to pray now or close up your store or like they do in other countries. And I think the way we do it in America is good because, in the Quran says there's no compulsion in religion. Truth stands free from falsehood. So you're not being a quote unquote good Muslim in America because somebody's making you. You're doing it because your heart compels you. I think it's more sincere devotion.
Yeah, there's discrimination.
And getting randomly selected and interrogated, and who is your leader? Who is your leader? All that kind of stuff. That part gets a little difficult.
But I'm happy to be an American.
I think this is the freest place in the world to seek the divine as you choose.